Welcome to the Elevate Your Equity podcast, where we, as married busy professionals, leverage real estate investing to unlock the 3+1 degrees of freedom: health, location, time, and financial. And today we have got the one and only Mr. Vinney Chopra on the call. How are you, Vinney?
I'm doing great, Derek. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. It's so great to have you on. And just for the audience to know, I'm going to read your intro, Vinney, because you are real estate investor, syndicator, international best-selling author of 2 books, host of 3 podcasts, multifamily investor and educator, principal syndicator, mentor, dedicated husband of over 40 years, and father of 2 children, Neil and Monica. And you reside in Danville, California, near San Francisco, and have been there for 40 plus years. And you came to this country with only $7 in your pocket and a dream. And Vinney's now built a portfolio of over 6,500 units, amounting to over $650 million in the multifamily, senior assisted living, and hospitality areas. And he is passionate about helping others achieve financial freedom and currently focused in giving back to seniors who have given us so much through development of assisted senior living and memory cares. Vinney, quite a resume. When you listen to that yourself, you must think back with pride, right, of everything that you've built. That's incredible.
Oh my gosh, well, praise the Lord. I think, to be very truthful, all these things, except for my other fundraising experience and being an engineer, it all came in the last 15 years.
Yes, absolutely. That's incredible. Actually, so today's focus is going to be on positivity bringing profitability, which happens to be the name of one of your amazing books. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
Hey,
absolutely.
You have a copy.
Yes, of course. But what I want to do is I actually want to start a little bit before that, okay? Because you alluded to it. You said that you had an engineering job. I believe it was mechanical engineering when you came to the United States. Mm-hmm. And let's talk a little bit about how that engineering job that you had evolved to have maybe a side hustle in real estate investing. And then after that, growing to where you are now with over 4,000-6,000 units under management. Walk us through that journey.
Surely, when I grew up in India, I grew up with 6 siblings, by the way, mom and dad and sibling in 1-bedroom apartment. And, we will convert our living room and the hallway to bedrooms at nighttime. So we had then 3 bedrooms at nighttime, but in the daytime, we would have living room, hallway, and 1 bedroom and a kitchen and all. But the key thing was I always wanted to become an engineer. In Indian culture, you become a doctor, an engineer, or what? I don't know. Maybe just 2.
I think it was a lawyer, right? A lawyer
maybe. Yeah, a lawyer. But the thing is, I always aspired to be an engineer, and I became mechanical engineer. I studied very hard, everything, got scholarships. Then I worked in Larsen Toubro, which is Reliance Group, one of the top nation's company. And, over there. But when I came to USA about 40 plus years back, at George Washington University to do my MBA, I had to choose which, special concentration I'm going to do. So I thought engineer plus marketer will be a great combination. I'll make a good living, in this country. So that's when I chose MBA in marketing. And lo and behold, when the Professor DeVita, I still remember him very well. He said, how many of you want to be managers and in marketing? He says, it's going to boil down to you'll be salespeople. Literally, he said that in front of MBA, everybody. And my friend asked me, he says, Vinney, you want to earn money in the summer months? I sold books door to door. I said, what? Selling books, encyclopedias, Bibles, and other things door to door? I said, let me go there. Okay. I always try to live my life without fear. I think that's the key thing. I make a decision. I make spontaneous decision, but then I make sure that it's the right decision, because that is what we do after the decision is made. It's the main thing, right? So then by going into selling books, it changed my whole outlook. I was more enjoying it, to be with people and all that. So what I did was I boxed up engineering, logical mind, everything I have. and my desire to do well, but then got into sales and marketing. And that's what my whole career has been. 44 years of sales and marketing, motivational speaker and investor in real estate for over 40 years in single family homes. But we got into commercial about 15 years back.
Excellent. And the rest is history from there. But what I want to talk about too is when you were selling door to door back then, you must have faced a lot of rejection. There must have been a lot of tough feelings, emotional feelings that you had to wrestle with, right? And this is where, at least because first of all, for the listeners to get some context, Vinney is my first and wisest mentor in the multifamily investment space. So thank you, Vinney, for everything you do for your students. And because of your knowledge, I've been able to grow faster than I ever thought possible. So thank you for that. But what I'm trying to say is that when I listened to your story first, I attributed your positivity to cutting your teeth in going door to door and hearing no lots of times, or hearing nothing, or people avoiding, like maybe turning off the lights when they see you coming or something like that, right? So can you identify any point in your past in which you found that positivity just kind of shone through and you kept going?
You're so right about it. Right from there, 44, 45 years back, I got hit by a car. It didn't stop me. Then I was walking all day long. I had no car, no bicycle when I was doing this sales outside Atlanta, Georgia. And the key thing was we were dropped off as students in the morning. Somebody had a car in our group. They'll drop me off at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. They won't come back until 9:30 that night. And you had to work all these hours. I was working 80 hours a week, 6 days a week, 6 days a week, no 5 days, 6 days a week, 80 hours a week. And I did it for 3 summers, not even one, because the company that trained me in sales, they gave me 7 books. I think I just got interviewed last week. I was talking about Norman Vincent Peale's book, How to, take care of rejection or positive thinking. Dale Carnegie's book, which is How to Influence People and Win Friends. I think I'm messing up the names. Then, of course, Greatest Salesman in the World, Og Mandino. Then I got Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and W.J. Schwartz, Magic of Thinking Big. This company gave me 7 books, and they said, these are your partners. We want you to read it and recite and think about how you could set your tough-mindedness and the positivity, Yeah.
That's excellent. So you use those books as from a knowledge standpoint, but practicality, you used it in doing those 80-hour work weeks for 3 years in the summers. Wow, that's incredible.
I know, I have certificates right here to prove it too. Right there, you can see it in here. Yeah, maybe one day I should do a little, posting on my YouTube channel showing all my awards, and I want to win award. This is 45, 46 years back. I still take pride in those awards and medals and trophies, because that's who they shaped me to become the person I am today, to really start thinking more positive in our life, because lots of different things are negative in our life. Lots and lots of news is negative, newspaper, other things, television, right, Derek? But the thing is, everybody has negative things and they want to throw at you. But it's up to us to put a shield around us. See, that's what I write in my book also. We have such a small brain, right? We have very small brain, like a fist maybe or something. But the key thing is there is so much room in our mind, subconscious mind and conscious mind. So it's like a movie theater inside our brain. It keeps on recording the good, the bad, the ugly and everything. But how do we retract that information? The subconscious goes to that 40 years back event of the negativity and brings it in the front. Wow, we have the biggest human supercomputer in our mind and brain. So by us shielding ourselves, and positively aligning ourselves every day. I call it miracle morning, like Hal Elrod's book. I say
Such
that
a great
all
book.
the time. Excellent book, Miracle Morning and Miracle Equation and all that. But the key thing is what you're doing by listening to positivity in the morning, you are cleaning up the negative feelings and negative vibes, and you're aligning with the north, like Stephen Covey's book, right? There are so many great people: Tom Hopkins, Stephen Covey, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins. I mean, they are the people who really I owe it to. Jim Rohn. Oh my gosh,
Jim
I can't
Rohn.
forget Jim Rohn. Amazing, amazing, amazing. He taught me so much, so much. Dale Carnegie's, seminars, international Toastmaster International, all these people. I've been investing in my mind, my body, and my personal development every year since I've come to this country. Every year,
Yeah.
sometimes even 4,000 or 5,000 a year, and now even 10,000, 20,000 a year in masterminds and all that. But the thing is, we feed our body mouth down so much with great, dinners and things and vacations and all that, but we don't really take time from the neck up, like Zig Ziglar, would say, stinking thinking.
The
We all
stinking
have
thinking.
so much stinking thinking, and we have Mr. Mediocrity on the left side and Mrs. Mediocrity on the right side. Literally, I'm telling you, each one of us have it. But how do we deal with that situation on a daily basis? That's where it's all about. What is our value system? What do we live for? And what are our whys to really be positive? Because we just cannot be positive if we say, I want to be positive. We have to go through some circle, get out of the comfort zone into uncomfortable activities, I say, because that's what it's all about. Successful people who are making 3%, top 3% in this country, or top 7 or top 15%, they are really doing the jobs, or the things, I should say habits, which unsuccessful people are not willing to do.
That includes shielding their minds and
Totally.
and put like you said the word investing in your mindset, right? And by reading the books, consuming the books,
Yes.
and really living them. And I don't think there's anyone out there on the planet that lives your moniker, which is Mr. Smiles, better than you, right? Because you absolutely are always happy. Now, what I want to do is I want to ask you, of all the success you've had, especially in the last 15, 20 years, if you had to break down the components of what that success came from, obviously there's hard work, there's time spent, there's delegation, there's business skills. To what percent would you put positivity mindset to your success? What proportion?
Oh my gosh. Derek, maybe I would say 60, 70%,
Wow.
because all entrepreneurs, I have 5 companies now, right?
Wow.
But I am thrown lots and lots of things every day, right? Dumping on me from all angles, right? As a CEO of all these companies, I have to make a decision and align myself and say, what's best for the customer? What's best for my investors? What's the best for, even though it costs us money, it's okay. We got to perfect the systems so that those things don't happen again. I'm a more automation kind of guy. I'm also very much, accountability guy. Let's say that. When I give some positions to certain people in my companies, I hold them accountable and say, you got to do it. You got to figure out ways. And then let's meet with what goals we set up and did we accomplish them or not. But positivity has to be there in any organization to build the vision and bring that vision back into the team culture. The corporate culture has to be a positive culture, because if people are nitpicking and they are always undermining other person and they're backstabbing, and the attitude is not good, they're good in front of you but at the back they are saying bad things about you. So positivity is such a big portion of everybody's accomplishment. And I think that's one reason why the curve has been so strong, is being positive. I would say definitely, I want to say that, not everybody can be positive all the time. I'm not either. I'm human, totally. But when I'm not positive, my mind goes and says, Vinny, what are the issues that are dragging you down? And then I talk to myself, and then introspectively come up with what the problem is, or what the challenges are, and what the solutions are, right? And instead of dealing with the challenges and going down in a spiral further, you just accept the challenge, and then you say, okay, what can we do about it? The sooner we make that decision, we get into the positive mindset. I mean, even sorrow, let's just say something metaphorically, I have recorded before that sorrow's main purpose is to make you miserable, to make you uneasy, get you more stressful. And that's the main purpose of sorrow. So when the sorrow comes in your life, if you're miserable, sorrow is going to stay there. If you're uneasy, if you're stressful, if you're not yourself, sorrow says, you know what? I found a good home right here. I'm going to stay. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. But if you're, dealing with sorrow with positivity and all, guess what? Metaphorically, sorrow will say, leave. Oh, this is a wrong house. I'm not welcomed over here, So it's kind of interesting the way you can really look at these things and train your mind to say, you know what? I can be happy if I'm able to just try little bit every day. And I talk about it, like the jar in example, in the jar, we got stones, we got pebbles, we got, you could use it in different, and sand and water. Now, if it's totally full, and that's what we have in our mind, we have a lot of very bad experiences, and we have lots of small negative things and big negative things, and sand and granular, and then water inside. We just cannot put any positive things in that jar or in our mind. So we got to clean up some of these negative things and feelings and our attitudes by bringing more positive into the thing, and that will take a little bit time. I say that. But once you start becoming more positive, then you go to in a circle. You say, oh my gosh, I feel better. I'm making better decisions. My company's doing better. My revenues are higher. More people are liking me now. Wow. That is amazing. That's all we want. Everybody wants to be around positive people. I mean, in reality, people, you cannot just be positive and laughing all the time and say, hey, I don't care about you. But you want to really bring the angle of positivity so that they can say, you know what, he's okay. I mean, we do come across lots and lots of negatives in our life. I mean, today was a busy day for me, Monday morning, and lots of things were thrown at me, right? But I moved on with appointment after appointment after appointment to make sure how we could really take care of those things.
Absolutely. I love it, Vinney. I think that positivity, it gives me energy. It gives you energy. It gives you the like you said, the culture and the vision. Even if they're people not in your organization, people pick up on this positivity and they want to be a part of it, right? And so that's one of the reasons why I asked the question, how big of a percentage is it of your success? Because I know it's huge. And for me, it's really funny, Vinney, when I started cleaning out my mind, I started cleaning out the negativity in my mind and started to manifest new people in my life.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you start changing your mindset, you start having more people surround you. It's really funny how the mindset and your positivity is the lead domino.
Yes.
To all the success that happens behind it. No one knows, or no one can understand when you're not there, when you haven't experienced this, all the things that you're leaving on the table by not being a positive person.
So
You have such an infinite untapped potential when you have the positivity to tackle any problem and say, okay, this problem happened. Let's get through it. I can do what I can do. Let's just make it happen. Right. And that's something I've really admired about successful people like what you embrace. And I just think that that's really important for people to understand, is that positivity is not just something to be positive. It's actually your life. It's actually a life of potential, full potential that you're maybe leaving on the table. I wanted to see if you had anything to say about that. I'll just stop for a second.
Definitely. I would say that, some golden principles in life are the principle of attraction, right? Where we say, if we have a lot of negativism in our life, then God and the cosmos and the whole universe is going to give more of the same thing, of the more negativity and all that. And that's what it is all about. Manifestation. If we are more positive, we'll attract more positive people. Like we are the sum total of 4, 5, or 7 people, right? 5, or I heard 2 weeks back, 7, somebody brought up. I love number 7. I came into the country with $7, 7 universal name. And I always made decisions for 7 years at a row. What?
Love it.
Not 3 years. In my lifetime, I've always made decisions for 7 years. Wow.
Love it.
Even in my previous career as a motivational speaker, I told my company, which I was a major stockholder of that company, I told them, you can count on me for 7 years. Then on the 6th year, I committed 7 more years, so 14 years. Then when it was 13 years, I committed for another 7 years, 21 years. Then when it was 20 years, I committed another 7 years, literally. 37 years I was with that company.
Incredible.
Oh my gosh, 37. And I was doing real estate as a side hustle in single family home.
Right.
And then I got into my multifamily. 2006 I started because I became a broker. I'm still a broker in California, active. But then I got into syndication 2005, 6, 7. And then I retired from that company in 2015. A lot of people say, I want to retire today. You cannot, you've got to really put the time. I toiled 7 years before I retired my W-2 job to make over $2 million or whatever my income was and all that stuff, right? But the thing is, you've got to really make sure that you're paying the price.
I love it. I love how you said you toiled for 7 years. There's that number 7 again that comes
7
up,
again.
Right? It's a 7. So Vinney, let's talk about, how you used positivity to help you with your very first syndication or with your very first multifamily investments. Because I know what it's like to work a full-time job and then to work on the side. And it's a very tough time for people who want to be active investing, but I think it's more or less a rite of passage. I think that, doing it that way is the best, most responsible thing for your family, depending on what your situation looks like, right? I mean, obviously you can position yourself in a way where maybe you can exit sooner, but I think that doing the responsible thing to try it out as a side hustle first and making sure that you enjoy whatever it is doing it, do that. But let's talk a little bit about what type of traits or what did you rely on in those first couple of years, right? To do the side hustle.
Totally. I would say definitely not the kind of person when I make a decision, I immerse myself into it. I will do all the research and I'll find the best of the best to teach me, to be truthful. And that's what happened in my life when I joined about 15 years back. My quest to go into commercial real estate, I looked at office space, hotels, I looked at leasing, I looked at strip shopping centers, multifamily. Oh my gosh, when I started looking at multifamily, this is 16 years back, 17 years, I said, it makes sense. Oh my gosh, we got so many single family homes. If I can have economies of scale and all those stuff, right? Then my thinking was, who is number one? Who can teach me? And I'm willing to pay for it. Exactly. And I don't mind saying that David Lindahl, my good friend now, mentor that he was the number one. Everybody who's doing all these syndications right now, they're all learned from him. I'm telling you, no matter they acknowledge it or not acknowledge it, it's amazing. And then his personal coaching and boot camps and everything, I did the whole scope. And then personal coaching was the best thing I ever did. My team, my partner and I, we will spend 3 nights a week, by the way, 2 hours, 6 hours consistently every week. For 1 year, we did it for 1 year. And we did not sign any program or got any property until 10th month or 11th month. So that also 14 units for $180,000. But luckily, we were working on 2 deals, and I got 109 units also that Friday. On Monday, we closed on 1 deal. And the same week, Friday, we closed on 109 units with 101 storage units and a commercial building in 1 lot. Everything was in 1 place. So the key thing I will say is that, the early part of anybody's career, you could take 10 years to understand the thing by looking through blogs and reading and all that. But it's better to get a mentor. There are so many great coaches out there. I have academy, but there are a lot of great people have academies, and that is the sure way to success. Because the investment we give, a small one, 10,000 or 15 or 20, I paid 32,000, I remember, close to that. But I took a lot of team members also with me. So we spent over 100,000. The money we did not have, by the way. We loaned the money
Oh my
to
gosh.
learn this, and now we are making millions,
Yeah, and you did the work, Vinney. I think that's the other thing too, is that when you get a mentor, and your program is fantastic. You have weekly mastermind calls. So anyone who's out there who wants to follow in my path, at least, please take a look at what Vinney has to offer, because you guys cover it all. And I think that the amount of money that you pay to get into a program like this is what is going to make you pay attention. Yeah. Because let's say, Vinney, right, that, I wanted to join your program and I spent $2 to get in to that.
No commitment.
There's no commitment. There's no commitment on my end. There's no seriousness there. And so I really like that these programs are designed to both reward you as a mentor, because you have things to do. Your time has to be compensated. You have to be able to pick what is it you do, because in order to give back, you want to make sure that your systems are running with that time that you're spending there. So I think that part of the maturity about being positive, right, is to know when you need help. And when you're positive about your future, again, you're looking at not the domino in front of you, but what your potential is. A mentor is an absolute essential piece of that. And, one thing I was going to say too, and I don't mean to have this be pretty much an open advertisement for your coaching, Vinney, but that's just the way that it is right now, is that my wife, Sophie, she's joined us on a lot of different, podcasts.
Yes.
And she has this intuitive feeling behind people. And what she felt was, she saw you, in your, like, all the things that you've been through, and in your 60s at the time,
yes,
being positive, open, joyful, and an expert in investing in multifamily real estate. And you also happen to be a stone's throw away from us back in the California Bay Area. Yes. And she saw all of that, and she said, this is a person that you need to learn from, just because it wasn't the fact that you knew what you knew. Well, you knew what you were doing in multifamily. That was clear. But the fact is that you're doing it in alignment because you're happy with your life.
Thank you.
So going back to positivity, right? Was there any point in time where it was tested in the multifamily space for you?
Oh my gosh, definitely, Derek. I could write a book on it.
I think you did.
Literally could, because see, my positivity is tested every day for the last 15 years. The reason I say that is when you are managing all the assets. And so we had 134 full-time team members in my companies. What Modine Management Company had 134 people full-time where they're working. I mean, at the properties, my community managers, regional managers, and asset managers, senior regional managers, senior accounting people, my vice presidents, you name it, right? I just built a big empire with all these syndications. I kept on buying, and then it kept on increasing. My accounting department was 5 full-time people, 5 full-time.
Wow.
Because millions of dollars were flowing through our hands, right? And we want to make sure everything is 92
Counted.
accounts, 92 accounts at Wells Fargo,
Man.
92. I mean, 64 LLCs because of the properties and manager and investors, all that stuff, right? But it was fun. But the key thing was, because you have such an expansive thing, not just me alone, most of the entrepreneurs, they have so much thrown at them. So when you are positive, I could deal with deals with contractors who didn't do the job, or the price of these things went up, or the irate or angry residents, put some special things, in the chat or things. I mean, you name it, right? Cyber security, hacking. I can just go back so many places, and then you thought that this was taken care of, but that didn't get taken care of, right? You got to step in and make sure that all these fires, because you are, as an entrepreneur, you are also fire engine. I say that,
Yes. You
because you
drive
want to put
around.
out fires, right?
Yeah. Yes.
You
Of
don't want
course.
it to go further. And then we are also into investor relations, right? I started from one investor to 430 investors now. So they have needs and they want answers right away, and their updates and all those. So I've been tested every day. But the exciting part is, you know what? I take every day in good stride. Nothing bothers me. I said, I'm living life with full attention, with full, value system, integrity, and trust. And whatever decision I'm going to make will be the right decision from all the information I have, right? So even saying to God, give me strength so that I could tackle all the challenges. And then the other attitude I have is, God puts it in my lap, all these challenges, because he or she knows I can handle it. So that's the other, metaphor. I always remember what came on my plate. It was supposed to come, first of all. And then secondly, don't defy that. You cannot get it away. You got to deal with it. Secondly, God put it in your way because he knows, he entrusted you to really take care of it. He knows that. And if I don't know the answer, I'll grow into finding the solution. See?
Man, so wise. Would you say, Vinny, too, that is positivity and mindset a prerequisite for an entrepreneur to get started?
Oh my gosh, that's a very powerful question. Very powerful question. I would say it will help. It will help because there are lots and lots of people, they can get by and do, single company management, depending on the size of the company. A lot of entrepreneurs, as you know, in America, are very small businesses, right? They're 2, 3, 4, 5 people. But if you're scaling big times, I would say positivity will definitely get you on a very fast pass into more revenues and expansions. I really believe that. I really believe that because what happens is, with your positivity, you attract more people. Your enthusiasm speaks through your eyes and your gestures. So the investors base increases. People are just talking to me or listening to me on podcast, texting me, Vinny, I want to put 500,000. I said, hold on. By the way, can I know a little bit about you, please? They say, Vinny, you're so genuine. I mean, you just give it as it is. And I mean, it has happened so many times, Derek. I just can't. And people are, reading my book now, Syndication Made Easy. And we have got so many people now, coming in, and I appreciate them. They want to learn the business, also passively invest, and so
Of
on.
course.
So positivity will help. I can promise you that. And, I'm doubling the size of my book, by the way. I'm
Awesome.
so glad I just got the new expanded version. So we are just going through the editors and then uploading it.
Excellent. So let me ask you too, Vinny. And first, and congratulations on all your books and everything you've done. Can I ask you,
Mhm.
what do you say to people out there who think that positivity is weakness, or people that say that positivity is just, if you're happy all the time, then you don't have to make hard decisions, or you don't have to, you're just kind of rolling with things. And I know that that's not true, but I'd like to hear your answer to this.
Very good point. I would say you cannot be positive by fakely. You could fake it till you make it is the other term also, right? Because peer group will really put you down always. Even your family will put you down. I'm telling you, not too many people are happy when you're successful. That's the real, it's a universal principle. I mean, the prejudices are there. But the thing is, if you're a little bit positive, you will bring sun ray into the life of others. I'm promising you that, because if you are tackling the situation, even if you just wrote yourself a 3x5 card, I want to be more positive today, right? Just fake it. Just fake it. So you say, what will a positive person do? I got this situation. I will try to be a little bit more positive. You could even start with your relationship with your children, for example. You will echo the system right away. If you're a little bit positive with the children, they're going to behave differently. I promise you that. With my wife, Kanchan, we've been married 42 years. When I'm negative, when I'm not positive, it's a whole different conversation, Derek.
Oh
It's
yeah.
very different. And I hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so important that we are building each other around us. Being positive is not that it's a raw positivity. It's building people around, being respectful to their time and listening to what they're saying, and then giving them that positive vibe that, you know what, I care for you. I care
Yeah.
for you. So fake positivity will not last much longer at all, but you got to prove it with the results. And that is by living the life slowly, slowly, slowly from the negative field. There are only two sides, right? This is a football game, brother. On the rest, one side is the negative. Do you want to play in that game, be offensive and defensive, or you want to be in the positive zone, right? I would
I
like
love it. I love it.
positive zone.
So Vinny, you're definitely a master at being positive, and you've written that to incredible success, especially in the last 15 years. Can you pass along some advice to those people who are maybe struggling with and have the self-awareness to be able to say, oh my gosh, I'm really negative a lot of the times, which first of all, I have to applaud that self-awareness. But can you maybe give some advice to some of those people who are struggling with this?
I would love to, love to. Step one is to recognize who we are right away. Please take a plain sheet of paper and a pen and just have some half an hour with yourself. Early morning. Early morning is the best time when everybody's quiet, birds are chirping, and, it's a beautiful time. The sun is out, it's a beautiful day. So you write down, am I negative? Why I'm negative? Just be careful. I mean, don't worry about what you write. And am I positive? And just put a line in between on the page. Am I negative? Most of the time, why? And am I positive? Some of the time, why? That's it. Okay. Next step is to just say, I want to get a little bit more positive. What will I need to do? Okay, that's the second step. You've got to now feed yourself with some positive books, some podcast or YouTube, because TV is not going to do it for me, or nobody can do it, right? Or you get into a circle with a positive person where they can influence your life, like Lots of other mentors are out there, right? They charge a lot of money, but the key thing is YouTube is your best friend. You say, I want to be positive. Just say that in YouTube.
Mhm.
You'll come across so many great videotapes, clippings, and look for the shorter ones. Don't go for 2 hour, 3 hour. Nobody's got that time, right? And then the third thing is small steps. See, you cannot change drastically because we'll go back to
Yeah.
the same person. So incrementally, just try to read few paragraphs or listen to or watch something about positivity, what it will do to your mind and soul and your business, and then reward yourself. That's my last one. Many times in our life, we always say, you are not this, you are not that, you're not good for anything, all that, right? We hear that from people too, by the way, outside people. But once you change a little bit and you see some positivity coming into your life, you should rejoice and you should say, I'm good. I'm doing better, and I'm going to do even more of this, and enjoy and share that with your loved ones, and ask them, hey, have you seen me a little bit more positive lately? Because I'm working on it. And would you kind of let me know when I'm a little bit negative, because I don't want to be that person anymore. And you know what? You will have to change some of your peers. I mean, we earn as much as average of 5% people, and our mindset is also built on all the 5 or 7 people. Some
Right.
total of all that, right? Net worth also, sometimes people say, but the thing is, you got to make a decision because it's only our life. I'm the CEO of
Yep.
my life, right? Nobody can come into my mind and say, Vinny, do this, do that. No. Unless I want to change will not happen.
Oh, beautiful.
Internal, change is internal.
Yes, I love that. And I couldn't agree with you more. Every word that you said is 100% correct. And I can see again that you're living it. And, one last question that I have before we enter in the rapid round, because I want to be respectful of your time as
No,
well.
no, no. I'm all yours, brother.
Good. So let's say that maybe there's a spouse out there, maybe there's one person who's listening to this podcast right now,
Yeah.
and they're thinking about their spouse and they're thinking, oh my gosh, like, I'm totally into this, I love this, but if I bring this home, then you have this negative sinking feeling, right, of like, oh, like, what's going to happen at home if I start doing this, because my wife or my husband is so negative.
Mhm.
What do you suggest for those people, Vinny, that want to be like this, but you are the people that you surround yourself around? And what happens if that person that's next to you that you've married or that you have kids with, or people that are around you that are family ties or close to you for some reason, or business partners,
Yes.
and they're negative and they're bringing you down, but you want to be positive, and there's maybe a fear there? What do you have to say to those individuals?
Wonderful, wonderful. I think again, to open the dialogue with the children or with our spouses, our, companions, I would say is to just say, honey, to be truthful, I've been kind of watching these couple of videos and listening to a couple of these podcasts, and I want to apologize. I think I'm quite a bit negative. Hold on. You will
Wow.
never say that you are negative. You just say, I've been reading, and kind of watching my activities, my thinking and all, and I am negative. I'm sorry. I don't know how you feel about it, but I want to get better. By just opening that, it's going to open up a great dialogue. And that's all we need. We need to just open a dialogue to say where we are. And then, not that I want to change my, companion or my spouse, but you want to get better. And guess what? I'm telling you, 100%, by just saying that I've been negative and I'm so sorry, these things have brought me to the point where my, business is where it is and everything. And I know if we just try to be, if I be a little bit more positive and more enthusiastic and more really into it, it's going to help our family, our relationships. And guess what? I really believe that the other partner are going to open up.
Mm.
Oh my gosh. They're going to open up and say, you know what? I think you're right. I've been negative too. I'm sorry. I said that. I shouldn't have said that. That's how the relationships are built in life. It's just that many times in relationships, we want to change the other person. That's the biggest fallacy. It's the biggest fallacy in the world, is to change other people, their habits, their mindset, who they are, because who they are right now is because of all their history, right? And nobody can change anybody in this world.
That's right. The other person has to want to change. And that
Exactly.
means that the other person is going to change regardless of whether you want it or not. Beautiful.
Yes, totally. But you can help them change. And, in the process of, changing each other, life is going to be bliss. It's going to be happy. It's going to be delightful. It's going to be dating again. I've been married 42 years, and my wife and I, we love to go on dates. And like yesterday, we went on beautiful lunch in Walnut Creek at La Quinta, and we just discussed and all, and that's what it's all about. We are thinking about our taking a trip, with the family at the 42nd anniversary and all that.
Wow.
But it's so important to just have the biggest thing I could say to anybody is that if the person is right, the world is right.
Mm.
If the person is right, the world is right. This was a very beautiful thing. Once a pastor was working on his sermon, to give coming Sunday, right? But his son was young and he was bothering him quite a lot, and then he saw a little picture of a world map, literally, right? And he just tore it many pieces and gave it to his son. He says, son, please put this world back together, And he says, okay, now I can work on my sermons. And within few minutes, his son comes back. He says, Dad, I put the world together. He says, what? Do you know where the countries fall and everything all over? He says, Dad, no. When you were ripping off this picture, I saw there was a picture of the man in the backside. So I just put the man together correctly, and the world also got together just fine. What a great thing.
Incredible.
If the man is right, the world is right.
Oh man, I love that. It's so true too, because whatever we perceive, right,
Yes.
is how our world manifests. And this is why, for those listeners out there, why, Vinney has been able to achieve so much wealth, health, happiness, is because he's got the vision and the positivity to look through the difficulties or look through the things that just need to get done. And if you're looking at the lens of a can-do attitude, of a positive attitude, someone that doesn't get pushed over, right? You stand up for yourself, you fix problems and things happen. But in the face of, what's the word? When you're in the face of uncertainty,
Yes.
and you don't, and it's not true, and you are leading people through a direction, and you're in the dark, you're walking through the dark, or you're holding a torch through the dark, and it's pitch dark behind you, and your team is behind you, and you're leading the way, and then you get to that destination. It's incredible because people are looking to you for your leadership. And when you have the positivity to be the leader, then you can be the best leader for them, and they're going to make you very successful and successful for themselves. And so I love that message about you fix the man, you fix the world, because even on a very small sense, right? Every one of us make up the world. And if you
Yes.
can start to affect people positively, it's like spreads, not like a virus. Well, maybe like a virus, but it spreads very quickly. The people that know you, if you can be that beacon for them, and then you'll put the world back together one person at a time.
I love that. I love that. The way you just summarized it. So true, Derek. I mean, the thing is, it's so important that, in our business relationships, with our family, with our children, with our relatives, and as a human being, in a short life of 100 years, let's say, maybe we'll be 130 years with all these new inventions
Yeah.
coming up now, biotech and everything, and, reproduction of parts and all. But the key thing is, in the whole scheme of spectrum of dinosaur years, if we go millions and trillions of years, we are not even there. I
Yeah.
mean,
You can't even find
our
us.
life is insignificant. See, that's the word. It's insignificant. And we should not worry. We should not live life with full of fear and full of animosity and full of jealousy and full of, all the things that we think we are not.
Mm,
But we should be who we are and who we want to become. And we could change it just now, who we want to become tomorrow, literally.
yeah.
We could be a new person when we get up in the morning. See, the thing is, I tell everybody, did you get up in the morning and you say, man, I'm going to have a great day? You go into the mirror and you say, hey, Vinney, you are the best man alive, buddy. You're going to have a great day. Or we get up and we are dead.
Yeah.
We are up dead,
Yep.
literally. We are not excited and we are saying, oh my gosh, why this is
Another day.
I
Yeah.
know another day and another life to live. And let me get coffee and let me see here and there and newspaper. I mean, rather than doing miracle morning and get up with passion and say, you know what, I know what I want to do. I want to get going with my morning routine, exercise, meditate, and gratitude, and then have a great breakfast. And I'm ready to take on the world.
Oh,
Derek,
man.
I'm so fired up, brother.
It's so
I'm
beautiful.
69. I will be 70 this year in August, and I just cannot wait to be 100, 100, staying in this chair. Hopefully, maybe a little more freckles and all. But guess what? Hey, guess what? Botox is there. I mean, plastic surgeries are there. So, I mean, all those things are there, but the mind has to be right. See, the mind has to be stimulated on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Even few hours, I would say, request my fellow seniors, we will be 100 million of us, 100 million. That's almost 25% of population. Our population in next 40 years in USA is going to be 441 million. What? I just did some studies yesterday. I was reading upon it quite a bit. How many, what population, what demographics, everything. I'm really into that, right? Anyway, I get
It's
into
good.
that.
No, it's beautiful. And Vinney, I think being 70 in August this year, I couldn't tell if people are just listening to you on the podcast, and even if they are seeing you, they would suspect that you're maybe in your mid 40s. And
Oh,
I think
God.
that I just think that positivity is such a huge underpinning to all of this, Vinney, because
Yes.
the positivity allows you to face challenges, and the challenges rewards you with needing to be healthy, right? In order to face the challenges, they reward you with the tenacity to keep pushing and setting goals. And when you set goals, you keep your youth because you have something to live for. You have someone to serve. You have something to do. And so
So,
again,
so true, brother.
so
Oh my
so
God. Goals, small or big goals. We got to have small or big goals for daily. Not just say that, oh yeah, I have it in my mind, but let's get involved in some charities and writing
right.
books. Everybody's got a book in them. You wrote a book in 1 month,
I
brother.
did.
I was so proud of you. And the thing is, we have so many things to do, our hobbies, and we my senior friends, I mean, we spent so much time in learning the skills. This is the time to give back. to mentor some students and mentor some colleges and mentor other thing and get involved in charities and, and make a significance, is the word.
Yes. I again, Vinney, the positivity is the true underpinning of all this success and in every aspect of your life. And I just want to honor that by dedicating this show to that. And also to you. Thank you again for coming on. So
thank you.
Even though we could have this conversation clearly for another 24 hours, I would assume. What I'd like to do is I'd like to move into our rapid round, which is the same 5 questions that we ask every one of our guests. And, I think you may be the first repeat guest that we've had on our podcast in season 1 and now in season 2. So thank you so much for all of it. It's really great. So let's jump in if you don't mind.
Yep, I'm ready.
Question number 1. And I think I know the answer to this. What book has had the biggest impact on you and why, outside of Rich Dad, Poor Dad or the Bible?
I would say definitely Eckhart Tolle's book, Power of Now. I really live my life in acting, moving the needle every moment, that's what I really live. Even when I'm doing things, I try to do more things while I walk. I do Zoom meetings in the morning and all that, so Power of Now is the
excellent. And let me ask you a side question before I jump to number 2. How often do you re-listen to these classics? Right.
Oh my gosh, you know what? You would not believe I'm the biggest guy who loves to listen positive things every morning.
Excellent.
Audible.com, podcast, you name it. Joel Austin. Oh, yeah. I love to listen. He's the success priest, I call him, mind priest. So a lot of these people motivate me daily. Right?
Excellent. So good. Number 2, if people wanted to emulate your success, what is the first actionable thing that they could do to follow in your footsteps right now?
I would say definitely set some goals. If you already set goals, then let's go next step. Be more positive. Okay, that's going to, like, the whole show is about positivity. You may pick up my book or other books. There are so many great videos. So be positive. Second one, be enthusiastic is my next one. So people like to communicate things and they will look at you more within your company or outside, when you're enthusiastic. If you're just saying, let me see if you want this or not, and all that, with that, or if you say, I want to share with you the most exciting thing, you may be interested, you may not be. That's okay. But let me kind of go over this presentation with you. So people will be really very much enthusiastic.
It's very funny, Vinney, that I've noticed that too. As my enthusiasm grows, so does the success in my business. And it's very interesting how emotion, when you connect it with goals, underpinned by positivity and mindset and vision, that your business will just explode. It's just a matter of time before the outside world catches up to your mind, right? And that's what I had to say there. Okay. Number 3, what is one tool, process, or hack in the last 3 months that you've learned that has helped you save time or effort?
Okay, in the last 3 months, I would say I've been using these tools for quite a bit of time. By the way, one thing which I was introduced many years back is the Sign Easy. I love not to print things at all and just sign on while I'm driving on the phone and all that. And other hack I've been using, I'd love to share with your fans is, look at this. This is my lovely wife.
I love it.
A lot of these. But the thing is, a lot of people have CRMs. I do too. MailChimp, Active Campaign. But the best CRM is in the iPhone. I take pasting of the emails and people send me comments. I copy and paste them in notes section of their name. So this way I can go back. I've got 40,000 contacts, I think, or something in here for the last 40 years. And the good part is I write their daughter's name, son's name, their wife's name, when was their anniversary, all these. So I enjoy writing different fields of jobs and this and that, and write particulars about them, even write in notes what we talked about. So this is the best hack, because when I'm talking to people, I look at them before I call, and it reminds me a little bit,
Ah,
and I can blow their minds away many times.
beautiful. They'll say you have an amazing memory, and you'll be like, yes, sir. It's really funny, Vinny. You reminded me of someone who does something that you might find you might like this, and I just have to mention this, and we can cut this out if we need to
No,
later.
no,
But
please.
what I found was, and this is super cool. I'm going to start doing this every morning as part of his miracle morning when he's out doing his walk.
Yeah.
He calls one of his investors, or he doesn't call them. He records a video saying,
Oh,
"Hey, thank you so much for for being there for us. Like, we really appreciate you. Hope the kids are doing well, and I just want to say thank you. And I'm just so grateful for our friendship and that type of thing."
I love it.
Every morning he's just recording it, and it's a direct text message he sends to the investor or to his friend or to a fellow GoBundance brother.
I
And
love
it's incredible. It's really cool. I got one of those, and like, it just changed my whole day.
ah,
And imagine what 30 seconds, or 15 seconds of you saying that to someone. It doesn't take any time at all for you to text that to someone, and I think it's a beautiful
love
thing to
it.
do.
I love it. Thank you for that. And I'm just thinking, like, I have 430 investors. I may bring them into an Excel worksheet, knowing me, have
Oh,
a
me
done a
too.
game plan, and then I will be able to put the date next to them. So
Yeah.
if I missed it, I will then go back and record it and send it.
Or
I'll pick
better yet, Vinny, you just have a list with you, right? And like, I could do this with my phone too. Like, I have a big phone with split screen, so you
Yes,
can put the list on one half of the screen, and the other
yes.
half is the camera, and then you just go down the list and you shoot 20 of them in one morning, and you
I
just walk
love it.
around.
I love it. Oh, how do you do half the camera? You just
Well,
shared with me something very special.
I do that with an Android phone. I don't
Oh,
know. I
I
don't
have an
know.
iPhone, but I can Google it. I'm sure
You
they
should.
have it too. Half screen.
Yeah, you
Huh?
should. It's called split screen view.
Brother, you taught me something. I knew you will teach me. Split screen. Yeah.
Yes. So that way you can look at one thing, like a spreadsheet on one side of the
Yeah.
screen or top of
Yeah.
the screen, and then the other, it can be anything else. So it's
I
pretty
love
cool.
it.
Pretty cool
I
stuff.
love it, brother. No,
All
that's
right.
a great thing what you just shared. I heard before it, but I even bought Loom also, I think,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yep.
And I will do it, brother. I think
Excellent. But I think it's really cool to be able to be in nature and just have it be natural, right? Like, you can, if you're feeling really grateful that day, Vinny, then you just
yeah.
shoot 20 people that you love to talk to
Oh,
and be like, hey, and then you have your VAs just send them out through text. Yeah.
sure.
Anyway.
I
All right.
love I love it. Love it.
Number 4, if the people, I think I know the answer to this one. If the people had to describe you with one word, what would that be?
Mr. Smiles and
Yes.
Mr. Enthusiasm. Literally. I mean, to be truthful, I don't know if your audience knows it. I was given Mr. Smile 46 years back when I was selling books outside Atlanta, then Pulaski, Virginia, and Aiken, South Carolina, 3
Mhm.
summers. My trophies, because I was doing all right, and excelled and all. They took my middle name out, Kumar, and in parentheses, they put Smile. Literally. That's how I got Smile in my name, Vinney Smile Chopra. I said, "Oh, really?" They said, "Yeah, Vinney, you keep on smiling all the time in sales meetings and all that." So I would say Mr. Smiles.
I
And
love that.
enthusiasm is other one, and Mr. Operation. No, Mr. Automation or operations is another one.
You know what that is, Vinny? You said that you put your engineering mind in a box back then and put it away, but I think it still is coming out in these ways. That's my thought.
Thank you.
All right. Number 5, very last question. And I may have already asked this to you before, but I'll ask again. What small thing do most people not know about you?
You know, gosh, somebody, I just told them the other day, they were saying, "Oh my gosh, what did I tell them?" Oh, you got me.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh my gosh, they don't know about me, right?
Mhm.
Uh, that I laugh when I sleep, and I don't know.
That is cool. Is
Yeah,
it
I
because
know a lot
you
of people have
dream?
said, Vinny, when we look at your face, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I cannot not smile. Let me say that. I mean, what it is that if I don't smile, it pains my cheeks.
Oh my gosh.
Literally, it's become that way now.
You have put so much muscle memory into the smiling. Oh my God, that's a whole nother level, Vinney.
It's something I cannot just not smile. I'm sorry. I mean, I've tried to do it, and then it's very uncomfortable for me.
Oh my gosh. That is incredible. That's pretty cool. I love that. Vinney, that's awesome. So Vinney, again, this has been such a pleasure to have you on, and I miss being in your neck of the woods so much because, every time we talk, it's like, man, I wish that we were closer together, so that I could see you at meetups, or I could take you out to dinner or however. But
so
in any event, Vinney, before we end the show today, please tell the audience out there how they can learn about you, your empire, your investments, your books, your products, your people, anything out there. I'm going to give you an open stage.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm very much on the social media, Instagram. Of course, you could just, send a message. My team or I will reply. Definitely each and every item. And Twitter is another place. And of course, Facebook. And my YouTube channel is getting bigger and bigger. Vinney Chopra at YouTube. My website is vinneychopra.com. V as in Victor, INNEY CHOPRA Chopra.com. I know there is Deepak Chopra, same last name, great motivational speaker. Priyanka Chopra is very big now, wife of Nick Jonas's, they just had a baby now. And what I was going to say was I want to do something special for your audience. And that is, I want to give my book, the #1 seller, Amazon #1 seller, which is Syndication Apartments, Syndication Made Easy, to everybody, in your audience. If they could just go to www.vinneychopra.com/free book. So please, and no strings attached. And it's a whole book in the email. It will be downloadable right away. And I hope you really
Excellent.
enjoy.
So much. And Vinney, we will go ahead and link everything that you described in the show notes so that you listeners out there, wherever you're seeing this, you can grab that for it. And it's a very good read. I highly recommend that you do that. Vinney, thank you once again for coming on the show. It was such an honor to have you on again.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Excellent. And for you listeners out there, man, what a great show, right? All I've got to say is wherever you're listening or watching this, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, or engage with us in general, because we want to be able to get more exposure to bigger guests, just like Vinney Chopra, and deliver incredible content to you so that you can take this and succeed in anything that you're doing out there. And so thank you so much for listening. So Vinney, thank you once again so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Derek.
All right. And thank you everyone for listening, and have a fantastic day. This is Derek signing off.